But nothing is normal about going to prison. I set off the metal detector twice because of the stupid belt. I had to be patted down, and that's when they handed me a box with a button on one side and a little string hanging off the end of it.
I stand before you tonight as the 2019 Valedictorian.
So this is a little segment I'd like to call Life Lessons with Kyle.
Hey you, thanks for dropping by. So, a couple of weeks ago, I made a decision to start doing whatever I want, regardless of what anybody else thought about it. I guess one could call it a decision to just go for things. Not go for everything, just things that matter to me without any. I'm sick of having to stay in a box created by others. You know what I mean. Like, always having to do what people expect us to do. Like, if you're still in school, try sitting at a different lunch table. Nope, you can't. And adults are no better. They say they want to make new friends. They say they want to try new things. But most are terrified of putting themselves out there for fear they will be deemed weird. Well, I'm tired of being kept in my box. So I've determined to not stay there. I want out. This channel is a doorway out of my box. Maybe it can help you out of yours. I'm sure my friends will mock it, people will hate it, people will hate my views on issues, but I have things I want to say. I'm going to say them. I'm going to give this a go. Anyways, with my newfound determination to step outside the box, I stepped right out of my box to prison. Clarify. My grandfather, aka Poppy, has been asking me for about a year to go with him to the prison that he worked at. He wanted me to meet some prisoners that he had worked with. So I finally said yes, but that created nervousness. So, like we all do, logged onto YouTube and searched prison in hopes of finding something that might help once I'm on the inside. But, to my dismay, there was very little about prison on YouTube. So the next morning, I left my dorm to meet him at his house wearing jeans and a polo. Now, he specifically stated to wear something nice, but not too nice. Thought I had nailed it. But when he saw me, Happy freaked out. Are those jeans? Oh, no, you can't wear jeans. Jeans are bad, because if something happens and they need to separate the prisoners from you, they might think you're a prisoner. Happen? So I was going to go back to the dorm, but Poppy insisted that I take his navy blue, well-worn, size 38 pants. I explained I was a 32, but my grandmother Mimi insisted that I try them on. So I walked out with the belt, and the pants all bunched up in places that were uncomfortable. And Mimi said, "No, it's better that you don't look so perfect when you go to visit the prisoners." Well, that was unnerving because that seemed to indicate that if I looked too perfect when I visited the prisoners, there may be an issue with the prisoners. Okay, so on the hour drive to the prison, I was rethinking my decision to say yes. As the prison came into view, my anxiousness skyrocketed. Hands were sweating, heart racing, and I let Poppy know I'm scared. He said, "No, it's normal." But nothing is normal about going to prison. I set off the metal detector twice because of the stupid belt. I had to be patted down, and that's when they handed me a box with a button on one side and a little string hanging off the end of it. "What's this?" They said. "Well, if anything goes south, pull the string, press the button, and then 10 guards will be in the room at a moment's notice." Pull the string if things go south? This is insane. They usher us into a processing room and I hear, Poppy says, "Inside." I feel sick. Okay, so we walk into a courtyard, and my mind's racing. I'm thinking about Shawshank Redemption. Poppy's pointing out buildings where things are, like I'm actually going to remember. It felt like we were on the cringiest college tour of all time. We then moved into a meeting room, and there they were, prisoners. Now, just a side note, Poppy has always just been Poppy to me, kind of the typical grandfather. See him on holidays, he shows up to school events, he's just Poppy. I never really gave him much thought. But here at this prison, Poppy is a stinking celebrity. I hear multiple prisoners, Chaplain Varela! That's Chaplain Varela! Dudes tatted up, acting like little children who just saw their sports hero. So Poppy introduces me. I naturally feel out of place, wanting to crawl back into my box and close the lid. But I couldn't. And as more and more prisoners filed in, they all had the same reaction to my Poppy. Wanting to talk to him, wanting to hug him. They explained to me, oh, your Poppy helped each of us get jobs within the prison. He counseled us. He created different opportunities. He even created a farm on the prison to give the prisoners a chance to work. Amazing stuff. And this is my Poppy? I was kind of shocked. I mean, I'm Poppy's grandson. I didn't know any of this. Now, Poppy later informed me that all these prisoners singing his praises murdered, kidnapped, and raped people. These were bad dudes. However, they were friendly. They were friendlier than most people I see every day. Now, at this point, more prisoners came in, and I started to feel uneasy. I just got to know the first guys, and now more. It was at this point that I noticed the anti-rape sign on the wall. Rape, all caps, with a little slash through it. So we're not going to rape people. Okay, well, on the outside, that's just assumed. I looked down at my little pink striped polo, then at my size 38 pants, and realized how grateful I actually was that I didn't look. One of the guys told Poppy, "You have a good-looking grandson." But my heart was beating out of my chest. I'm down, we're stepping outside of the box. So I decided to take control of the situation and just start talking to whoever, making the most of this opportunity. In talking to them, they shared their stories, why they were in prison. One was armed robbery, currently serving a 10-year sentence. He worked in the cafeteria. He has to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's been stabbed in prison. He's getting into fights. He then stated that he was writing an autobiography about how Christ changed his life. He talked about his dreams of starting a nonprofit in his community when he got out in order to pay his debt to society. He told me when he does something, he does it 100%. When he was a gangbanger, he did it 100%. Now that he's a Christian, he does that 100%. I told him, "You're an inspiration." He looked back at me and said, "You are too." The fact that you came in here wanting nothing, just giving your time freely, that's amazing. Little did he know, I was getting more out of it than he could have ever imagined. I was experiencing the grace of God that I had never experienced in this way before. I was seeing the transformative power of the gospel firsthand. This guy I met at the prison stepped out of his box. He doesn't care what people think. He is free even while being in jail. As our visit wrapped up, they asked me, would I come back to see them? I said, for sure. I walked out incredibly grateful for my own freedom and with a new sympathy for the struggles of prisoners, ability for change when it is paired with the power of the Holy Spirit. So yes, going into a maximum security prison, all those events that accompanied it was weird. But nowadays, kindness, work ethic, prioritizing people, not existing in an artificial world, and people being satisfied with their lives is, weird. You know what's normal? Normal is being glued to your stupid phone, being self-absorbed, and constantly seeking pleasure. How about saying yes to stepping out of your box of normal that you and others have put you in? Go out, go do, go make a difference.